This video is sponsored by Raycon. Raycon is turning another year older, and to celebrate, they're giving you 20% off their bone conduction headphones. These bone conduction headphones have become a much appreciated part of my daily routines. I wear them on morning walks, while cleaning, while running errands, hiking. I like how they keep me absorbed in my own little world, whatever podcast or music I'm listening to, but I can still keep tabs on the world around me, hear the birds, the wind rustling the leaves, any bikes trying to get around me on the trail. That's because Raycon's bone conduction headphones use off-ear audio technology, sending sound through gentle vibrations in your bones. Your ears stay open and comfortable. No buds, no pressure, just clear, balanced sound. They're also IP68 waterproof and dustproof, so a little sweat, a little rain, a little sandy beach day can't stop them. And their 13-hour battery life is perfect for my long days editing or long days hiking. And the best part is that Raycon offers premium performance without the premium price tag. Their quality rivals the big brands without the big costs. So no wonder over 3 million people already love Raycon. Click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/moonbc to get 20% off the bone conduction headphones. That's buyraycon.com/moonbc or scan the QR code on screen. Hello. Welcome in to Mahogany Lodge, the coziest corner of the country, nestled into the mountains and folded into the forest. Are you checking in with us this evening? Perfect. Your first and last name, please. Oh, of course. My 5th year annual guest. You're so bundled up for the blustery weather out there today. I could hardly see you through all that scarf. It's a beautiful scarf too. The fireplace is going pretty strong right now. I want to make sure you stay comfortable while I get you checked in. Peter, yes. Could you help them out of their layers, please? Just the top two. Your coat and scarf will be waiting for you in the closet of your room. You'll find that immediately to your right when you enter. Peter will treat your items with the utmost care, brushing away all of the lint, all of the leaves, and, of course, ironing out any lines he might find. No wrinkles on his watch. It's a lovely coat, too. Goes great with that scarf. Looks like just the thing for these mountain winds. This morning I nearly got blown clear off the porch. I was trying to put up a fresh wreath. Beautiful. With all of the oranges, yellows, reds. But a big gust came and just about made off with me and the wreath both. You'd think after all these years up here I'd have learned to anchor myself down like the patio furniture. Allow me a moment to locate your reservation. There you are. Looks like you're with us for 10 nights in the Emberglow Suite. Does that sound right? Wonderful. I love when I get to assign that suite. You're in for a real treat. I know I say that about a lot of different rooms, but this one is really as good as it gets. So, you'll be in room 317. You'll get there by heading over to the elevator just behind you. Take it up to the 3rd floor. Take your very first left, and then it'll be your 3rd door on the right. I'll write that down for you, whether you need it or not. Any this is a good excuse to use this stationery. 317. Elevator to the 3rd floor. It will be the 3rd door on the right. Right. And then I'm just drawing a little kitten face for you. You look like you could use it. There you are, my dear. Now, there's no getting lost. Speaking of getting lost, how was your journey up here today? Have you gotten the hang of it yet? Right. Oh, definitely. These mountain roads definitely like to test your bravery. Did you come up the Shadow Ridge route or Cedar Pass? Brave choice. Beautiful views, but oh my goodness, that stretch with the cliffs to the west feels like you're driving right into the clouds. We actually had a guest last month who they stopped halfway up the mountain to take a photo at one of those spectacular viewpoints, and they accidentally locked their keys in their car. Had to call our porter to rescue them with the spare keys from the lodge. The porter actually came back with pictures of his own of that viewpoint. So really, everyone won in the end. So glad you're here, safe and sound. I kind of think the perilous journey up makes arriving here feel that much cozier, don't you? Coming in from the cold, you get to feel that rush of warmth from the fireplace. It's like slipping into a hot bath. Now then, allow me to tell you a bit about your suite so we can make sure you're happy and don't want any upgrades or changes. So the centerpiece of the room is this grand stone fireplace with a carved wooden mantle. It looks like a mantle that's seen decades of holiday stockings hung from it. And when it's lit, the fire throws these coppery shadows over the ceiling. Makes it look like the room is glowing. And right above the bed, there's a skylight angled perfectly for stargazing. You can just lie there on your back, watch the night sky shift until your eyes get heavy. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you'll even catch an owl flapping past. Or sometimes the squirrels like to do almost looks like gymnastics routines up there on the glass. The skylight kind of doubles as their stage. The bed itself is a canopy dressed in amber-toned linens and sprayed with pumpkin pie fragrance. Oh, the balcony. You'll have your own private balcony with lanterns strung all along the railing. They'll flicker on automatically at sundown, really light up the night. And the bathroom. The bathroom does have heated floors. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but my goodness, I thought it sounded like one of those silly luxuries you don't really need, but it really blew me away. It's like holding a warm mug of tea, but for your feet. You'll see. There's also a huge soaking tub with jets, big enough to do laps in, really. And if you're anything like me, you'll be picking out which bath product to try out first before you've even finished unpacking your bag. Because we have a brand new autumn lineup of bath products in every room. We just swapped them out from the summer set a couple weeks ago, and the reviews have already been rave.
Let me see if I can remember them all. There's the spiced apple cider soak. It fizzes up all fluffy, and it really makes the bathroom smell like a mulled drink. And then there's the pumpkin chai bubble bath. Thick bubbles, plenty to make Santa beards with. Or maybe for Halloween, a wizard beard would be more appropriate. And then there's the cedar and smoke bath oil. That one's my favorite late at night. Just a couple drops, and it feels like you're bathing beside a campfire deep in the woods. What else? Oh, there's the cranberry sugar scrub. I had to stop myself from tasting it because it smells so much like jam. And last, there's a little tin of vanilla chestnut bath salts. If you pour those in, about a tablespoon or two, if you're feeling fancy, the water turns this milky golden color like a latte, and it leaves your skin the softest. Every room has the entire set, so you can mix and match depending on your mood. While I have you here, let's take a look at the weather. For your sake and for mine, I have fun seeing if the weatherman's right or if the mountains decide to do their own thing. You never know. So tonight, that light drizzle is going to continue coming in waves. I love it. I feel like this light, misty drizzle weather makes the whole place look like a painting. It just does something soft to the light. And then tomorrow and the next day we'll have more light showers on and off. Perfect for you to burrow in with a big blanket. And then after that, for the rest of the week, it's going to be clear skies and winds ranging from 5 to 15 miles per hour. Best of both worlds. You've got that cozy weather to settle you in at first, and then those crisp, breezy days once you're ready to start heading out on the trails. Speaking of cozy, let's talk spa. I always like to offer new arrivals a treatment for their very first full day here. Getting that travel stiffness worked out right away is always a good idea. It sets the tone. You can really arrive. We want to get you relaxed enough to feel fully present in every moment you spend here. Would you like to hear about our new treatment options? Perfect. There's a very exciting lineup this fall. Let me pull that up for you. There we are. First is the juniper and pine muscle melt massage. Perfect for anyone who's been hunched over a steering wheel, stuffed into a plane seat, or just generally carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. They use warmed pine oil that smells exactly like a hike in the woods after rain. They warm the pine oil until it's so silky, almost steaming. And that very first touch is heaven. It smells like juniper berries crushed underfoot on a damp trail. And when the therapist presses it in, the muscles don't fight back. They just give way. Like snow sliding softly off a branch. The pine oil is incredible, I swear. a suitable post-travel treatment for you. Or another one of our extremely popular treatments so far this season is the Maple Sugar Glow. This one is a full body scrub, and they use real maple crystals. It's not, sticky, cheap syrup, though it does smell just as tempting. It's these delicate amber grains, like crushed gemstones almost. The therapist will take a generous handful, sweep them across your skin, and then work it up into an exfoliating lather, sparkling maple grains, brushing and buffing you up until every dull little patch disappears. And don't worry, it doesn't feel scratchy. Thankfully, it's a gentle, satisfying exfoliation process. I like to compare it to how sand smooths sea glass. Slowly and gently, layer by layer, just working away those unwelcome, rough edges. And that scent, to die for. It's like luxury brunch maple. Pancakes in Paris. Pancakes in Paris is how I like to put it. In case somehow you're not tempted by that, I'll tell you about our next most popular treatment at the moment. There she is. The chestnut clay wrap. They start with this warm mineral clay blended up with roasted chestnut essence. It smells nutty and sweet, like you might expect. The therapist will dip their brush into the clay, paint it on in long, smooth strokes up the arms, down the legs. It honestly feels like your body is being covered in molten velvet. And then they'll actually cocoon you, wrapping you up in soft linen layers until you're swaddled like a little baby, a little chestnut mud baby, tucked in nice and snug. And then you wait. The heat starts to seep inward deeper and deeper until your muscles just let go completely. And while you're resting, the clay is actually hard at work, pulling out every little impurity. In case you're missing some of last year's classics, though, don't worry. We have kept a few of the guest favorites, like the cinnamon hot stone treatment, for instance. I know you really fell in love with it. It's still here waiting, but I must say these new treatments are definitely worth trying. Well, personally, I think I would say the Maple Sugar Glow. I come out gleaming, smelling like waffles. It's the best. And Kimberly, our head therapist, is still here, of course. She's my top recommendation, particularly for working away muscle tension. She has this uncanny way of finding knots you didn't even know you had. You'll just be chatting away and suddenly she presses her thumb into a spot between your shoulder blades and you've been realized you've been a bit clenched there since 2009. She's magic. Were you happy with your treatments with Kimberly during your last stay? Always pleased to hear that. Okay, well, allow me to check her availability for you. Let's see. Looks like she is pretty booked, but she did just have a last minute cancellation for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Would that work for you? Perfect. Get you all set up. You will receive a little text reminder the morning of, so you don't have to worry about keeping it in your head. I will also prepare your reservation card. Just present this to the receptionist upon arrival and they will know exactly what you need. We'll take care of you completely from there. Got that. Here you are. Isn't that darling? I just love this design. I'm going to slip that in here with your room key, alright? We've still got our same 3 restaurants: Alpine Cabin, Botanica, and Crimson. I like to describe them as 3 siblings who all went to different private schools, so grew up very differently, but you can still definitely see the family resemblance. Would you like to hear about their new specials for the season? Great. Let's talk about Alpine Cabin first. The breakfast special is pumpkin spice brioche French toast. So it's these thick slices of brioche, all golden and crisped up at the edges, drenched in cinnamon nutmeg custard, served with maple butter. And for lunch, it's the roasted leek and potato soup with a side of rosemary bread. The rosemary smell hits you in the face before the plate even lands on the table. And tonight's dinner will be the venison stew with wild herbs. Very rich, very hearty. It's a great way to fuel up after a long day's travels. And then Botanica, the greenhouse restaurant. If Alpine is flannel, Botanica is silk. And they have that gorgeous piano tucked in the corner. Someone's always playing just the right music on that thing. If you remember, it is all vegan, all from our gardens on site. You could walk out into the garden in the afternoon and see tomorrow's dinner ripening on the vine. I just love that. Top seasonal special at the moment is the roasted fig and walnut tart with fennel citrus salad. So beautiful. It really looks like art on the plate. Almost like it's been painted with watercolor. And then there's Crimson, of course, the hidden restaurant tucked behind our library. Candlelit, dark wood, heavy velvet drapes. Very dramatic. I like to consider it our Phantom of the Opera room. It's got that moody, elegant vibe. Hushed voices. You'll want to wear the nicest outfit you packed. What is their special? Let's see. Looks like it is duck breast with a pomegranate reduction. Perfect perfectly paired with their boldest red wine. And if you go, you must save room for dessert. They have this chocolate and blood orange torte. It's a real treat, and it really feels perfect for Halloween. Would you like a reservation for tonight, or are you in more of a room service kind of mood? It is a perfectly acceptable way to spend your evening here, to just sit in bed watching the rain, eating a tray of scalloped potatoes. Botanica. Of course, excellent choice. How's 8 p.m. tonight sound? Perfect. I'll make sure you're seated at one of my favorite spots, the corner table, just beneath the wisteria. Those flowers dip low enough that you feel like you're dining in a secret garden, but not so low they'll get stuck in your hair. And you'll have a perfect view of the pianist, close enough to enjoy the music, but far enough that you and the waiter can still hear each other comfortably without having to raise your voices. I'll put you with Marisol as your server. She's been with Botanica for years now, and she has an amazing knack for matching people with wines. Even if you don't give her much to work with, she'll put a glass in your hand that really tastes like it was made just for you. And she's also very good at slipping you an extra helping of rosemary rolls without making a fuss about it. So I'll get a reservation card prepared for you for that. And I'll make an extra note to light the lanterns early. Usually they don't put the lanterns on until after sunset. But personally, as the sun is still going down, I think it looks gorgeous. So this reservation card is for Botanica. It says on the back. And I'll just slip that in with your room key and your other card. Get your collection started. You'll enjoy a fabulous meal. It always is fabulous at Botanica, after all. And then I must tell you about our new cider flights. It's in the afternoon. Each day of the week, a new flavor will be delivered to your room. Monday is spiced pear. Tuesday is cranberry apple. Has this lovely sharp tartness that really keeps you coming back for another sip and another sip. Wednesday is mulled cherry, which tastes like pie filling in a mug. And then maple cider on Thursdays. I was scared it would be too sweet, but it's actually just the right amount. Friday is ginger spice. It's got a bite to it. Clears out the cobwebs in your chest, that's for sure. And Saturday is caramel apple, as indulgent as it sounds. And then Sunday, pumpkin cider. Oh, it's the one everyone looks forward to the most, so they always make a bigger batch. I'm warning you, once you've had the pumpkin one on Sunday, you'll be counting down all week until it comes around again. And then in the evening, your chocolates will be delivered, left on the side table for you to enjoy in your fireplace chair. I always forget about it, and it's such a pleasant surprise. Come back from dinner or from the spa, and there it is waiting for you, a neat little tray. No ordinary chocolates either. Some are filled with herbs from our garden. There's a basil truffle that is just divine. Has me wondering why we don't put basil in everything. Some have liqueurs. There's a little bourbon caramel, cherry brandy. My personal favorite is the lavender cream. It's floral and it's buttery. Just what I like. Let's talk about what you'd like to do while you're here. You can absolutely, spend your time in your suite with your scalloped potatoes, and no one would judge you for it. I've seen guests check in with a stack of novels this high, with their plans just to do nothing but read, order room service for the week. Honestly, they always look 10 years younger by the time they check out. But since you're here during the Halloween season, I'd hate for you to miss out on some of the special festive offerings we have on site. Some really interesting things happening around the property. So, Bonfire Night is still our main midweek event every Wednesday evening down by the lakeside. So we set out blankets and chairs, and this month we're adding a bit of a Halloween spin. We're bringing in folklore musicians. They come in from the surrounding mountain towns. They come in all bundled up in their big cloaks, carrying old instruments that look like they belong in a museum. They're wonderful storytellers. Some of their songs have more of a humorous spin, like little trickster tales about foxes getting the better of hunters. But some can be kind of eerie. There was one they did last week about the story of the singing door up near the Ridge Trail. Supposedly, if you find the cabin and you knock 3 times on the door, it'll knock back. People started going out looking for it. Not me. No. I like my adventures in daylight. Thank you very much. After the music wraps up, we pass out lanterns and we do a nice walk along the riverbank. Just a quiet procession with the lanterns and the moon. It's very peaceful. There's some light chatter, but mostly people tend to get into a quite meditative headspace with it. The sound of the trees rustling. It's nice. So that one, you don't need a ticket, but I will prepare you a reservation card just so you don't forget about it. Especially because it is just so beautiful. Look at that. Looks like a tarot card almost. Love that Art Nouveau kind of style. So that's Wednesday night from 7 to midnight. Most people come around 9. And be sure to dress warm, bring that scarf, and shoes that you don't mind getting a little bit muddy. The other one I'd love to recommend for you is our new Stargazers Conservatory. It's in the old glass house near the orchard. You'll see it glowing in the distance if you walk around the apple trees in the evening time. We turned it into an evening lounge for these colder months. It's become one of those things people start asking about as soon as they check in. once in a while you might get lucky and see a meteor streak across the sky. And it's fun to be in a room full of people who all see it at the same moment. Usually you'll get a simultaneous gasp. On Halloween night, we'll be having a midnight gathering there. It's not really advertised. We try to keep it intimate. But our resident astronomer, Mr. Calder, he sets up his charts and he does star readings for people. It's a really nice way to wind down after any crazy festivities you might get up to on Halloween. Would you like me to prepare this reservation card for you with that info? Stargazers Conservatory. Perfect. And then there's the Lantern Labyrinth. We've just set that up in the orchard. It's not a maze exactly. You probably won't get lost. It's a pretty simple looping path lined with hundreds of lanterns hanging from the trees. Every lantern's been carved with something different, a different sort of design. Moons, vines, little owls, cats, pumpkins. It's a beautiful walk. It has a spooky quality that's well suited to the time of year. There's the reservation card for the lantern walk. Our pumpkin carving contest is back this year. The categories are scariest, funniest, and best traditional. Makes judging a little more fair, or at least less controversial. If you walk down the main hallway on the second floor, you can see last week's entries. My favorite is someone made a pumpkin train, a lineup of varying sized pumpkins, each being, the train cars, all the way down to the caboose, complete with silhouettes of passengers in the windows. It looks incredible when it's all lit up. The winner for the scariest pumpkin wins a private candlelit alpine cabin dinner. Funniest wins a gourmet picnic basket packed with pastries, cheeses, sparkling cider from our orchard. And the traditional winner gets a spa day with full access to the thermal pool, the sauna, and a treatment of your choice. If you'd like, I can reserve you a carving station for an afternoon this week. We set them up out on the veranda so you can see the mountains while you work. There's a table for each guest, all the tools provided. We keep the kettle going the whole time. There's aprons you can use in case things get messy. You just have to bring your imagination. Should I snag you a spot? Great. How does what kind of tea would you like to have ready at your table? Most people go for the spiced chai. It goes nicely with all of the pumpkin aromas. Earl Grey, apple cinnamon, peppermint, or maple. And do you take milk, sugar, honey, or lemon? Great. So not just the cutest. Maybe not the cutest. This could win the scariest if I was the judge. But even scary can be cute. I also think you might be interested in our shadow puppet shows. That's a new addition this year. It's in the old reading hall with, they've added these thick velvet curtains and brass chandeliers. Lots of leather armchairs for seating. This big linen screen. Lots of candles. Feels pretty haunted in there. The troupe who performs it are locals. They call themselves the Hollow Vale Players. They're from a tiny town about 22 minutes down the mountain. Half of them play instruments. The other half handle the puppets. Their performance is called Tales for the Long Night. It's a mix of old mountain stories and ghost folklore. Not too scary, don't worry. It's more eerie than terrifying. Last night they did one about a coal miner who found a lantern that only lit when someone was watching him. Every member of the audience was leaned way in, like perched on the edge of their seat. They use these little cutout figures made from birch wood, and when the light hits, the edges glow. Just a bit. Just a bit. And there's always a cellist sitting off to the side. Every time she hits one of those low notes, I get chills. Afterwards, the players usually lay out a few of the puppets on a table up front, so you can come take a look. They're amazingly detailed. You can see where someone's carved in tiny teeth or a little jointed wing. One guest asked the other night if they sell them. Marjorie just said, oh no, they'd miss the show too much. I think that's probably true. Those puppets always do look like they're having the grandest time. The show runs every night for the month, but on the 30th and 31st, they're going to do an extra scene at the end. Would you like me to reserve you a seat? They fill up fast, especially the front rows. People tend to like to sit as close up as possible to get a good view of the puppets. You'd like to do a show on the 30th? Alright. How about 8? Great. All set. And I think the last activity I have to highly recommend to you in particular is the Harvest Masquerade Ball. That's our big event for the Halloween season, held on Halloween night in the Great Hall. We're going all out with the decor. Gold and burgundy banners, flickering candelabras, garlands of dried maple leaves. The menu is going to be straight out of a storybook too. Roasted squash with brown butter and sage, cider braised pheasant, pumpkin ravioli, candied apples. The dress code certainly isn't strict, but everyone wears masks. Think like lacy, feathery, velvety. The string quartet plays until midnight, mostly waltzes, old seasonal pieces, and then at the stroke of 12, everyone takes off their masks. Nobody can stop giggling. I can never keep my lipstick in place under my mask, so during the midnight reveal, I always look like the Joker. Maybe that's what they're always laughing about. Should I RSVP you? Of course. Darling little reservation card for the ball. I'd like to show up in a pumpkin boat as my limousine. I'm drawing a little pumpkin on the back. It's not as cute as the one on the front, but alright. I think that should be plenty to get you started. So I've just gathered everything together for you. Here is your room key. This is the key. This is the spa menu. And this is a map of the property, as well as the opening and closing times for our on-site restaurants. If by chance you might lose your room key or any of your event cards, maybe it gets dropped into the bonfire or buried under a pile of clothes in your suite, don't stress, just come see me. I'll happily replace whatever you need. Secretly love when that sort of thing happens. Any excuse to pull out the stationery again. Just remember, I'll be here at the front desk whenever you need anything at all. Really, no request is too small or too strange. You'd be surprised at the things I've been asked to track down for guests. Extra mittens at midnight. A candle shaped like a fox. Like my mug. A bedtime story read aloud in the library after hours. I don't even blink anymore, so if you think, oh, that's too silly to ask, it probably isn't. Chances are someone's probably asked for it before, and if not, then congratulations. So, here you are, your room key, your stack of stationery, and your map of the grounds, spa menu. Try not to get lost, but if you do, it's not a bad place to wander. Welcome back to the lodge. Always happy to have you here. I hope your stay is completely restful. Bye for now. Don't be a stranger.